Peace and blessings, beloved. I'm your sis, Aisha Rahman. Welcome back to my channel. If it is your first time here, then welcome to my channel. My name is Aisha Rahman, also known as Aisha LaDon here on the World Wide Web. I am a library science and information technology student working on my master's degree at San Jose State University. Here on my channel, you will find videos about genealogy research, my own personal genealogy journey, as well as genetic genealogy, ancestry DNA, and my trips to places like Sierra Leone or Washington, D.C. is mostly just my genealogy journey. I have to work on this intro, guys. Sorry. Basically, my channel is about genealogy, and it's about my journey, exploring my own personal genealogy, my family history, as well as working on my degree in library science and information technology. There's my spiel. Gotta work on it. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing my screen and kind of give you guys an overview of a few what I call systems or project management systems that you can use to manage and organize your own genealogy research. I'm going to try my best to share these resources without sharing private personal information. I know that most of my family is very private and they would be livid to see their information on the internet. So I'm going to try and share these resources with you guys while maintaining the privacy of my family. I'm not going to dive in deep. I will have a video, or maybe I'll go live kind of sharing a specific project that I'm working on and the actual workflow. But today I'm just going to stick to the systems. So this video is not going to be very long. So the first resource that I want to share with you guys is Ancestry.com. So I began my journey as a genealogist. My uncle had an Ancestry account like back in, my daughter was born in 2000. So I'd say maybe probably in the 90s he started. I took it over in like 2003, 2004. He was like, I'm done doing this. I'm the only one in the family doing it. I'm ready to hand the baton over. He literally started a family tree. There was no DNA testing or anything done. He started the family tree with him, his siblings, my grandparents, and stuff like that. So for me, I pretty much use, let's see, I think I need to make this screen smaller myself. Okay. So my process is I come in here, I look at my DNA matches, I see if my DNA matches have family trees, and I try and figure out how we're related to them. You can also do explore through, which basically, let me see, I'm gonna try and go in through here without showing too much information. So explore through, basically, yeah, there it goes, everybody's names. Let's go to some people that are not alive. So explore through basically looks at your ancestors and how you might possibly be related to them. So it's saying these are potential ancestors that I have not explored yet. And then just shows you specifically person by person by person how you are related to that person. So you have to have some records in here to get started. Other people have to have some records in here to get started, and basically Ancestry uses their database to kind of connect and go through. So for example, I have a ancestor named Basil, and it will go through and show me exactly how I'm related to him, and anybody else that matches him. So this is on my father's side. So it's going to show me, my dad, his mom, on through, and how I'm related to Basil, as well as anybody else that has a DNA match to me and to him, or anybody else that has a lineage that's also related to him. So I usually will take that route and then look and see if this person has a family tree. I'm not going to show you their family tree, just to try to keep this person private as much as possible. The other thing is you can make your information private. So I'm going to do a whole video on Ancestry. I think I'm going to have to make like a private account, or an account that doesn't have information. My dad, I'm just gonna blame it on my daddy. My dad is very, very, very private. Yeah, my dad and a couple of my aunts. So I would have to make another account And I mean, ethically, you shouldn't share people's personal information anyways, but even just having their name, even the fact that their name shows, they will be livid. So I'm going to make another account and really give you guys a deep dive into some of these applications, some of these programs, and exactly how they work, because I know they can be confusing. So basically, this is what I do is I'll look and be like, oh, how am I related to this person? Look and see, do they have a family tree? Do we have similar ancestry last names? Do we have names that are often repeated and often used? So like on my dad's family, Charles is used constantly over and over and over. I have an uncle named Charles. He has a brother named Charles. His dad's name was Charles. So Charles Daggs is a name that's consistently used throughout my family over and over. So I use things like that to try and create my family tree. So I use Ancestry really to do my main research. You can use Ancestry as your main, your hub to collect your data and your information, because you can then download it. You can create books. You can do a lot of things once you have your family tree. But really what I do, want to make myself the first person, Aisha Abdul Rahman. I am alive. I'm a female. You don't have to put your birth date or birthplace. And I'm not just, okay, so I'm going to put my dad, or we'll put father. This is not my dad's last name, but whatever. So we'll say father of Aisha. Status required. He is living. He is male. Okay. And then save my tree. Okay. So now I have officially started the Abdul Rahman family tree. Then I can add my mother of Aisha. She's living. Okay. Save. Now, what this does is when I create my family tree, somebody else who creates a family tree that has a connection to these people based on our personal information, if I go to my profile, I can now go in here and say, oh, hey, let's look up Aisha's all her business. Let's look up all of Aisha's business and see if we can find her. So you're not going to find me, I'll let y'all know, as Aisha Abdul Rahman on the internet, because Abdul Rahman is a new last name for me, so I just legally changed my last name. So there are not going to be any census records, not yet anyways, because I just started legally using it this year with Aisha Abdul Rahman. But essentially, this is what you would do is, and this is a very common name. So if this was me, I would say, oh, this is me. I live in Cairo. I was born in 1913. Obviously, I wasn't. But I would click this information and apply it and say, oh, yeah, this is me. Like I could say, let's go to a vital record. I said I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to go this deep. Anyways, I'm going to make a different video for this. Ooh. So that is essentially what I would do is I'd go save all this information into that personal record, into that family tree. And then you can have multiple family trees. So I have multiple family trees. Again, I digress. I said I wasn't going to do all that. I get excited, y'all. So you add all this information about yourself, your parents, your grandparents, whoever you know. And when that information matches up with somebody else's information, that is how you collectively begin your research. As you have a question, you can start with yourself. You can say, oh, my goal is to get to 1870 or 1850 or as far back as I can. Or you can start with your mother's side, or you can start with your father's side. That could be one of your goals. So that is essentially how I use Ancestry.com. Is I will come in and I will search the various collections that they have. I will search federal records. I will search passenger lists, all these type of records. I also use the DNA feature to look at the different DNA results. So I have DNA results that I manage, different kits for various family members. As long as I pay for them, they agree to get tested for me. And then what I have done is I have taken some of those kits. Oh, sharing information again, Aisha, there you go. So I have taken those kits and uploaded them to this website called GenMatch. What GenMatch does is it takes your DNA and it matches it to thousands of people that have taken ancestry tests or 23andMe or Heritage or Living DNA, all these different companies, and it puts it in one database and it matches your data and it tells you how closely you are related to them. So this female is probably my mother. It's showing how many centimorgans were related, the generation. So yeah, this is probably my mother. This is my father. And then it has probably my kids. So that's my daughter and that's my son. And then it will go down to other people. And what I really like is oftentimes there are haplo group information, or to tell you where they got their tests from, and things like that. It gives you their email address if you want to connect with them, if you want to contact them. It tells you if it's on your mother's side or your father's side. There's also some really great tools where you can check with ancient DNA samples that have been uploaded from thousands of years ago and see how you're connected to them. So when I dive deep into the genetic aspects of my genealogy research, like for example, my daughter has red hair. I was trying to figure out, where did the red hair gene come from? Is it on my mom's side? Is it on my dad's side? Because in order to have a child that has red hair, both parents have to have the red hair gene. So me and my husband both have a red hair gene, but where did it come from? So things like that, health stuff, trying to find people. So using Ancestry, I was able to find my grandfather and all that side of the family, but using GenMatch, I've been able to find ancestors that were sold from Georgetown University, because they had uploaded their genealogy research to GenMatch because they were looking for descendants. The other thing I do is I use Evernote or OneNote, and I kind of use it like as a notebook. I don't know if I have that screen sharing. I believe I do not. Let me see. Ancestry project. Let me go back. Sorry guys, bear with me. I'm finding myself. Okay, so I don't have that screen share. Let's go ahead and share it. Actually, let's go ahead and go. I'm going to go ahead and go into Genie first. So I use Evernote, but it's kind of like a notebook, and I'll show you guys after I go to this other tab. So the other resource that I use is Genie.com. So Genie.com is my main hub of where it's like my final destination, so to speak. So basically, yeah, sorry, Dad, it's going to show your name. I'm going to have to find a way to blur out this stuff. So basically, this is where my final information goes, because this is like social media. So I can invite people who I can put in their information. I can put their email address and say, oh, hey, I want to invite you. That way they can come in and they can contribute. They can work on their own family trees. They can come in here and add information. So let's see, this is my great-great-grandfather's tree. So we'll say, and it shows you that I'm managing it. It shows you when I started it. And then it shows you exactly how I'm related to that person. I can check and see if there's an in-law connection. Basically, this is my final place, and I like it because I can add pictures. I can add videos like this. I can add DNA kits. I can add discussions and conversations. I can invite other people to come and manage this profile with me. They can upload and manage their own. So it's really like Facebook for genealogists, but no one can see it if they're not invited. So only my family can see this tree. And I really like it because then I can go in here and also find other people. So like I found information on Lynn Queen. Lynn Queen is the ancestor of mine that was sold by the Jesuits. So I'm able to come in here and add information, see if other people are adding information, and update it as I go along. So like this is almost similar to like a blog post. I can add pictures. I can basically, as I'm finding information on this person, keep it here, but I can have people add to it. And you can do a similar thing with Ancestry. I just find that Genie is a lot more user-friendly. The interface looks better. Again, I can print books. I can create family trees from this. I thought an idea from a family reunion would be to print out like our physical tree as big as I could. Is something that I want to do. So you can do that through Genie.com. So, so I showed you GenMatch. I showed you Ancestry. Okay. So that is pretty much my workflow. Those are my main tools. There's so many websites you can use. You can use Heritage, My Family Search, Living DNA, 23andMe. I believe they all pretty much allow you to, I'm gonna stop my screen share. I think they all pretty much allow you to create a family tree. There's also software that I use called Legacy Tree. I purchased it. I haven't started using it yet. It's on this other computer, but it actually sits on my computer. And then in my previous video, I talked about having backups. That I believe is going to probably be my final, is because you can export this information off of Ancestry or Genie.com and import it into Legacy Trees. So I could say after I finalize everything, make sure this person's actually related, double check through DNA, double check through paper trail. I can then have it on Legacy Tree. That way it's like the final that I can pass on to the rest of my family. So the other thing that I was mentioning was, I don't know if it's going to share. Okay, there we go. Is my Evernote. So you can use Evernote, you can use OneNote. So I basically have little tabs and I organize my my records and my information this way. So questions that I might have, general notes that I might have, information on a specific project. There's some worksheets I want to make, stuff about Sierra Leone. So any notes, this is pretty much like a notebook. And then you can have multiple notebooks. So Evernote, I really like. OneNote, I really like. But yeah, so I think you have to pay for Evernote. I started out with Evernote, moved over to OneNote because I have all my Microsoft stuff. So it's a Microsoft product. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I think that is pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to make this quick video. Oh no, it wasn't even sharing, was it? Let me go back and show you guys. All right, let's actually share it. This is what happens when you're doing the most, and then I'm not used to sharing my screen yet. Okay, so this is OneNote that I was just now talking about, thinking that I was sharing my screen and I wasn't sharing my screen. So this is OneNote. Pretty much, as I was saying, it's like a regular notebook. You have notes that you can put notes and take notes in. This is how I pretty much, like, I will say, what questions do I have? Like, what ship did they come from? Things like that. Freedman's Village is a project that I'm working on, some notes that I'm taking. I have to mess with this background. I was trying to customize a background to make a new notebook, and I just have Legacy Travel there. But basically, this is like a regular notebook, and this is where I keep information and questions I have to help me organize what I'm going to research before I research it. I also use things like Airtable. Airtable is a database that I use mostly to organize my videos here on YouTube. Like, what video am I going to be creating? But I also have started using it specifically for, let me show you guys Airtable. I have also started using it specifically for my ancestry research. So I've started creating, make sure I actually show it to you. So like this is telling me, oh, these are the websites I want to talk about. I want to talk about Legacy Tree. I want to talk about Roots Magic, good old fashioned paper. So this is pretty much this video that I'm recording right now. But this is a database that I've created for social, and I'm working on developing one specifically for genealogy, resources, who I'm researching. So for example, I have an ancestor, her name is Rachel Daggs. She was also sold by Georgetown University. So I have her information, the status of what I'm working on, the record type, I'm uploading files. So this is a new project that I've recently started, some notes on Rachel Daggs, just to see if I like this maybe better than OneNote. I don't know. I like the database format because there are various ways that you can look at it. So you can also look at it kind of in the format of a Trello board. So yeah, that's the librarian in me, is trying to organize information in a way that makes sense, that looks good. But that's it, guys, pretty much for this video. I don't want it to be too long. It's already been 20 minutes. I just want to kind of to show you guys the importance of having a system to track, because there's so much information to track, like who you're related to, how you're related to them, when they were born, are they alive, what's their history, where were they born, what was their childhood like. And you want to really have an organized fashion to do that. You want to have one place that you keep all that information. And paper is not going to cut it. It's just not going to cut it. You can start with paper. You can start with notebooks. It's a lot of paper, especially if you have, I think I have 1,000 people in my family tree now. If you have over 1,000 people, it's just a lot. And there's no way to really show, like, to go from person to person to person how you're related on paper. You're going to run out of pages. So that's it, guys. Life is good. Have a blessed day.